Thank you for joining me today. It's Brian Gubernick, and welcome to the No Days Off podcast, where we believe that every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. Let's get into it. Today's going to be a quick hitter. I want to talk about guidance from venture capitalist Chris Sacca, some words of wisdom from Chris Sacca. I first learned of Chris through Tim Ferriss. I think I read it in Tim's Tools of Titans book, or maybe it was one of the podcast interviews that Tim did with Chris Sacca. And Chris is a venture capitalist. He's been in Instagram and Uber and a handful of other companies that have accumulated or stacked some big wins for him. And I found Chris to have a lot of great advice. And there's one particular phrase, one thing that he shares that has been utilized. I've used it many a time over the past several years. I've almost made it a mantra in different aspects of my world that I'm going to share. Now, I just recently thought of this or thought to share this because a friend of mine, a Metrics Masterminds member, great business guy, real estate business owner out of San Antonio, Zach Castillo, he recently ran his first half marathon, and I had sent him over some advice, and that advice for that race included this phrase that Chris Sacca shares, again, that's been repeated in my head many a time over. Here's the phrase. Chris Sacca says that no matter how tough life may be on any particular day, he says to himself, tonight I will be in my bed. It's that simple. Tonight I will be in my bed. Now, again, I know that sounds so simple, and you're like, okay, Brian, I thought you were about to drop some absolutely amazing quote on me, but I'll tell you what, this one is amazing if you give it some thought. No matter how tough life may be, you're going to be in your bed. No matter what pain or how tired you may be or what discomfort, what struggles you experience at any particular moment, no matter how you look at it, at night, you're going to be in your bed. And you'll be able to relax, escape, maybe even retreat from whatever is bothering us. Now, for me, where this first came about, like I said, I read it in Tools of Titans. But I remember a half Ironman race that I was doing. And I was doing the race in Hawaii, in Kona. And that race, for what it's worth, was my absolute favorite. It is the most beautiful of all of the races I've ever participated in, and it was an amazing experience. I also got my ass kicked at that race. It was my worst performance out of the 7 or 8 half Ironman races that I've done. It was my worst performance because the heat and the humidity really got to me, especially on the run. And I'll never forget on the run, which is the last segment of an half Ironman race. On that run, probably halfway through that run, my legs, both legs, were cramping. I was incredibly nauseous, and I knew that I still had another hour or so to go. And it did cross my mind not to necessarily quit, but man, this is going to hurt. This is really going to hurt. And for whatever reason, my mind went to this Chris Sacca quote. And I remember telling myself, hey, literally these words in my mind, hey, no matter what, you're going to be in your bed tonight. No matter what, Brian, you're going to be laying in your bed, looking up at the ceiling, just staring into the dark, happy that you got through this. All you've got is one more hour of this discomfort, and then you'll be in your bed. And it sounds maybe so trivial, but I'll tell you what, it really kind of put things in perspective. At least for me, it did. Where this pain was at a pretty high level. This discomfort was pretty high. I was cramping. My mind was all over the place. I was nauseous as can be. But I knew that, you know what, no matter how you spin it, every day kind of ends the same. And that's me laying in bed, ready to close my eyes and wake up with a new attitude, a new energy, and start a new day. So I share this today because while I used a physical example, like an actual race or an example or some feelings I had during that race that I had to overcome, while I'm sharing a story like that, And I don't know if everybody could relate to that necessarily. I think most of us can relate to challenges and struggles that occur throughout our day. And we wonder, damn, am I ever going to get through this? And the reality is, obviously, absolutely, you're going to get through it. No matter how you spin it, no matter how you look at it, tonight, you're going to be in your bed. So whatever you're facing today, whatever obstacles, whatever challenges that you're going to have to overcome, while in the moment, it may feel insurmountable. While in the moment, it may feel uncomfortable. You may be miserable. No matter how you look at it, you're going to be laying in your bed, ready to close your eyes, ready to fall asleep, waking up the next day with new energy and a new set of challenges. So next time life is putting you through the ringer, as Chris Sacca would say, just remember to tell yourself, tonight I will be in my bed. We're going to end with that. No focusing question, because I think you could probably leverage this thought and apply it in a number of places. You already know the action steps to take. So that's all we're going to have for today. The No Days Off podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. So let's get after it.